Okay, so in this video, we're going to discover or we're going to explore or do a bit of revision of how to create web apps using ExpressJS. So what we have in this project, so you'll find this project here online in Codex GitHub repo. You will note if you look at the code that there's already a factory function that can do a few things. So we can create a basket, we can add fruit to the basket, we can't remove a basket yet, you can list fruits, you can list baskets, you can get a basket by ID, get basket items, and so forth. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to create a little fruit basket app. If you read the brief over here, you will see, if we go back to here, you'll see we have Samuel has been selling fruit in Cape Town Central for years. Due to changing client behavior during COVID-19 pandemic, he started to sell a variety of fruit baskets on pre-orders. Clients will SMS him with fruits they want in their baskets, which his cousin delivers with his motorbike. Okay, so now business is picking up. Orders via SMS is getting a bit tricky. And Samuel wants a small web app for clients to order fruit baskets. Okay, so help Samuel doing this. The first thing you need to do this is to actually deploy the test to Travis. So if you will see, if I'm going here and I run npm test, you see currently I think there's not a lot of tests. There's 2 tests, which is passing. But your first job is actually to deploy this to Travis. Let's get Travis up and running. So the test should pass, but you need to set up your database locally. Beyond that, we want to start off by creating this little web app. So now if you go here, I fire this up and I go to port 317 in my browser, 3017. You are going to get something like the following. If you go here, so if you go add basket, so you see we have the screen, so that link is not working. So if you go into your app and you look into index.js, see what's going on, you'll see you've got basket add and basket edit. So you'll see here, this link is wrong. So inside your index, so this link here should be basket add. Okay, so this way, so if I go back, I click there, we have, it's still wrong. So let's refresh, we say basket add, so that's better. Okay, so at this point in time, what we want is, we want to add a basket. And if you look at our database, so what does a basket contain? So basket at this point in time, just have a description. Okay, that's all it has at the moment. And then we have a basket, then we have fruits. There's fruit table, there's various different fruits, and we've got a basket item. And a basket item has ID, quantity, fruit ID, which is a foreign key to the fruit table here, and then we have basket ID that links to this basket over here. And you see this, the basket item has 2 foreign keys here that is been referenced here. So this is our table. So we've got 3 of them, and we've got one basket can have many items. The item is linked to a fruit. So a fruit can be in many baskets via the basket item. Okay, so now what we want to do, in our case, we are lucky in the fact that we have a factory function already. So what we need to do now in this, when we go here, when I click here, so I say basket name is Apple Deluxe, okay, something like that. It's Apple's Deluxe. So if I click here and I click on submit, I should create a new root. So at this point in time, let's just add this root, basket app root. So what we'll do is we'll go in here, we will add that's a post root, as you can see that we need. Okay, so app.post. So I'm adding a post root here, and then I'm saying function, and then I am saying this point in time, we keep it fairly simple. We say request response, okay? And then if I do nothing here, so for the moment, I'll just redirect back to my main screen, to the main root. So and then what we will do is we will see what is being stored, console.log, and then we say request dot body. So we'll see if anything is sent back to the server from that screen. So let's have a look and see if we say submit. You see, so it's coming back now to the index screen. And let's see where we are running our app. What is coming back? So looking at this, you see basket name. So if I say add basket orange hamper, okay, so you'll see that it's coming back here. Okay, so what you'll note, or what we need to do now, we're not storing anything in the database. I guess in my case, I am using an online database. I'm using something called Elephant SQL. So that is just an online database that I'm using to store my data in. Okay, you are using Postgres locally, which is absolutely fine. So I'm just using a cloud database. You see our fruit basket here, and my fruit baskets are here online. So what we'll see is once we are creating data, you will have your data in here. So what we'll do now, what we need to do, we need to get a factory function, and we need a factory function to store baskets for us. So let's go and look at our factory function and see what it can currently do. So here's my factory function, and lo and behold, there's a create basket method. Takes one parameter, which creates this form. It's actually returning the ID. Okay, once there is data, which is great. So in this case, let's see if I can plug my fruit basket services create basket method into my web app. So what we can do now is there was some of our tests, there's tests that's already running. So what I can do, I can go in here and I can see how this was configured here. Okay. So I am just using this. So I'm running this here. So let's say connection string. So let's have a look of what we need to do. So I need to go to index.js here. And what we basically need is we need this, okay, this pool object. So, and then what I also need, so if we go to the test, I need to create the instance of the fruit basket, and I need to pass the pool in, okay. So we are doing something like this. So I'm saying fruit basket at pool. So you'll note if I run it now, there's a few errors. So I have not imported pool. So in this case, I need to do two things. I need to set up pool, fruit basket. Okay, so there's a few things. So I'm going to copy all of this code that I have in my test here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to move it up actually. Okay. So I import my fruit basket, I import PG. I also require this .env thing because I have an environment file that contains my database config. So you have here, so I told you just now that I'm using something, so I have database. This is similar to doing export on the terminal, so you don't have to follow down this route, but I've just been using this, makes my life easier, especially using a remote database connection that I don't want to put in my code. So at this point in time, we now have our fruit basket, our reference to Postgres, I've got a pool instance, and I've read my configuration for my .env file. So that's just an external module that you don't have to use, but you could use if you want. But let's see now. So if I refresh now, my app is not running yet. There's an error, cannot find fruit basket. Okay, so the reference path to fruit basket is wrong. In my test, it was one folder up. Now it's sitting in the current folder. So if I go there, my app should be running, and we go here. Okay, so in this point in time, so if I now go and I say Apples Deluxe and I click submit, see nothing's happening. But so nothing's happening because we are, and if we look in our database online, so let's say table queries, basket, if we execute that, So we're running. You see there's my test basket. So if there's one basket there, but my basket that I just added, which is something called like Apple Deluxe, is not there. Okay. So if I go here, I add a basket, Apples Deluxe, you'll see it's not there. Okay. And the reason for that is because if you look in my root, my post root, nothing has been done there. Okay, so we send in basket name, but then we do nothing with it. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to say fruit basket dot. Okay, so let's have a look in our factory function. I think it's called create basket. Okay, so if you go to our factory function and you have a look, create basket. Yeah, it's create basket, and then the name is coming in here. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to say create basket. Okay, and then we're going to say request dot body dot basket name. Okay, so let's have a look. So if we do that now, something's not right. Somewhere there's an error, module not found. Okay, somewhere there's a space for some reason now. Typo here. Let's fix that. How it's running. Going back, refresh, add basket, Apples Deluxe. Submit that one. So seemingly everything is fine. You go up here, you run our query. You see, okay, so there is my basket now, Apples Deluxe, okay? So let's see, do I have a unique constraint on my table? So let me just double check in my SQL. So if I add it again, can I add it twice? Let me try that, add basket, Apple Deluxe, great. Okay, so there's no error. So let's see whether I can actually add it twice. Okay, so something is checking whether or stopping from adding duplicates. Let's see where that is. Okay, so here, it's not here. Result dot rows. We had this. Let's have a look. And then if we are here, so be SQL, write tables. Okay, we say the table here is unique, so we can't add duplicates. Okay, so not null and unique. So if it's unique, we can't add two more of the same one. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see what's happening. So you see there's an error that popped up here when we try to add the duplicate one. So that is basically, so you can't have duplicate ones being added. Okay, what happened in our app? Okay, add basket, and I'm going here, Apple Deluxe duplicates, it goes back there. Okay, so you can see there's an error there saying we can't create duplicate values, which is great. The thing we can't see at the moment though, so looking at this, you can't actually see the baskets that's been added. And the way we can fix that is by going to our factory function. So we already have a method that lists all the apples there, so we can use that. So there, or we want to list all the baskets. Okay, so we want to use this one. So what we want to do is now we want to go to our factory function, and in our index method, what we want to do is we want to say, so we want to go here, okay, and then we want to say here const, okay, fruit basket dot list. Is it called list baskets? So let's have a look. So if we go here, yes, list baskets. So if we go here, so what we want to do, we want to use our factory function now. We want to say list baskets. And then what we want is we want to get that into a variable. We want to say baskets equal here, and we want to say await. Okay. So we want to say await. So that will get our baskets. If you want to do await, we need to do async. You remember. Okay. And then I want to send that to my screen, baskets. So in this case, let's see what happens. So if we go here, we refresh. So you see nothing happens at the moment. So what we need to see is to make sure that our index screen expect use the right variable. So here we had fruits, and this should be called baskets. Okay. So if you refresh this, let's see what's happening. It's doing something, but it's upset about something. List is not defined. Okay, reference error. So somewhere it's trying to use list. Okay, index.js. So we are having an error here. So let's see why. Oh, there is a problem. It's list here. I don't know where that came from. We save this and we refresh. Okay, there's still nothing on the screen. Okay, so we need to see why that is. So let's see what's coming back. What does list baskets return to us? Okay, console.log. So we have that. Okay, so let's see what's coming back here. So if you run this, Control R. Okay, that's undefined at the moment. So what does list baskets do? List baskets. Let's see. Select star from this. Async function list basket. So why would it not return our baskets? So let's just see, we refresh this, check it out. So we've got list baskets here. So just put a semicolon there. So if we do here, const results, and then we return results. And then if we do console.log results, so if we go here, so let's just see if we refresh the screen, what is going on. So it's saying it's undefined. Yeah. Oh, haha. Okay, so the problem is right here. Okay, we don't have a await here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, okay, you can see all of a sudden there's things coming back now. So if you look at this, we have our data coming back here. And what is actually happening here is a few things. So the value in our template is not right. So if we go to index.handlebars, there we should say here description. Okay, so we have that. And then later on, what we also want to do is we also want to pass the ID of the value we want to edit to the screen, next screen. So if you refresh now, you'll see there's my baskets. And then there's still total cost at the moment. We're not doing anything with that. And what we actually want to do maybe there is, so in this case, maybe we want to move total cost up. And then this one here is not really anything to do with, so what I'm going to add, I'm just going to do TD here. TD, and I'll just add an empty column there. So let's just see how that looks. Okay, so that's kind of what we have at the moment. Okay, so at this point in time, I can see baskets here. So if I were to add a new basket now, and I say orange hamper, I submit on that. Then nothing is added. Okay, so that also looks like something. Okay, so that is that error, because if I refresh now, I'm going to see orange hamper here. Gotcha. Okay. So what's happening is when we're adding data, we don't have no async await. So it moves forward without us doing this. So if we run this, we need to add a await here. We're going here. We are doing this. So we're doing this here. We refresh this. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see what's happening now. Okay. The problem here is this needs to be in async. Okay. So we refresh now. Coming here, we can also add a basket. And we're going to say here fruit mix 101. Okay, so I submit that. You see there's fruit mix 101 for us. Okay, if you click on these links, you'll see there is basket 35, 37. So this is linked. So if I click on this, you see now this won't work. Okay, basket edit. So you see now we need a special route here. So what we currently do have, we have this route here, basket edit. But what we don't have currently is we don't actually have a root basket edit that takes in the basket ID. So I'm going to change this one here to change the ID. And now if we go back here, go back, click here, hey, okay, refresh, click on edit here. Okay, didn't I save basket edit? So if you refresh, basket edit, this should be like this, not with those things I had there. Basket edit. Okay, see, so now this route will work for all these things. Okay, for all these routes. Okay, so we'll come back and create this route that allows us to add fruits to a basket. But the important thing we've done so far is we created a screen that allows us to add fruits to a basket. So one thing you'll note at the moment is if I click on add and I click here, so there will be an error. So at the moment, okay, apples deluxe. Okay, so now for some reason I can actually add duplicates, which is very interesting. So we'll see that there's a problem with the fact we can, oh, there was a T there, so it wasn't, strictly speaking, not a duplicate. It was a tab that I couldn't see there, which is interesting. But if I were to go back now, and I say add basket, I do control V and click submit, we're going to get a big fat error here in the back. Okay, so at the moment what we need to do there, just to get the screen flow to work, is in here, we just need to put this code into a try catch block. Okay, but let me just do try, and then we say catch, and we have error here, and then we'll put this code up here. So we need to come back and fix this better. Okay, so we need to basically do add error handling. Okay, so let's have a look, and if we do this now, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to say apples deluxe. If I say add basket at the moment, if I do this, then something is there. It comes back and it just doesn't do anything. But if you note, if we were to do console.log error, okay, like that, we come back, we say add basket, we say add apples deluxe. You will note that on the console there should be an error, which we do see up here, okay? Violates unique constraints. So we'll need to come back and fix that error properly. There's no error message or anything, but in the future we want to need to add an error message. The other thing I'm seeing, there's all these things I'm console logging at the moment that I just want to delete. I don't need that code anymore. So from console.log. Let's see, where am I outputting all this? Okay, so that looks okay. So now I have this basic screen working, and we've got two routes. So the routes we have is a get route that use my factory function to get the list of the baskets, send that to the template. The template loops over it and put it onto the screen. We use the description and the ID. Then I have another screen, which is the add screen. Add here, that has used a basket add route, a post route, and that sends one field to the server. So if you go here, one field it sends to the post route. The fruit gets added in the add route. So if you go here in the post add root, gets a value out from the body, send it to the factory function. The factory function stores it, and all our data end up being stored. If you look here, see all our data sits here nicely in the cloud in the database. So that is our first installment of how to reflect of how to create the ExpressJS web app and how to store data. So we're gonna come back and we are gonna see how to add, and we don't have to add a basket, but we're gonna come back and see how to add fruits to a basket, okay? So then we're gonna list all the fruits that's on the basket down here. And then ultimately we're going to be able to add multiple fruits to one basket, but we'll come back and we'll look at that in the next episode. Okay. Hopefully you've learned some things. We chat soon. If you have any questions, let me know.